3D audio is going to be a game changer in the world.
Generation.
I'm pretty sure Tecmo Bowl has a speed run.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this week's Most Elite podcast. I know I've been gone for the better part of a year, and for those of you who listen to this with any sort of on a regular basis, regularity, I apologize. I have been incredibly depressed, and it started bleeding into my extracurricular activities like this one. Things have been difficult, to say the least. But I am back now, and we are going to talk about this week's gaming news highlights. Just a pretty easy episode to ease myself back into the rigors of having to talk to myself for 10 minutes a day. I know, and it's brutal. It's brutal. I feel bad for you guys having to listen. Jesus Christ. What do we got? Oblivion has come back to the world 19 years later in a stealth remaster. You can't leak anything or surprise anyone in this world, the internet. So people, there were rumblings that Oblivion was getting something, and then Bethesda released a trailer, and the trailer was like, releasing now, right? So I love when games do that. I feel like sometimes the PR campaign works to the detriment of a thing. I do think sometimes it's better to just be like, man, look at this amazing thing. You can play it today. I think sometimes it's better to do that. In fact, I watch every single gaming, tech, whatever. I watch all of those showcases, hoping every trailer ends with download today. Every trailer. Every single one. I know they won't, but I still watch with like bated breath that's what is going to happen. It never does, but I still believe. Oblivion, it happened. So if you've played Oblivion, a lot of us have. It's sort of like a seminal work in the RPG world. Some would argue one of the greatest games ever made, and it probably is. If you've played Oblivion and you love it, and you probably still play it with mods and stuff, like the Skyrim people out there, go play it. There's a lot of quality of life stuff that I couldn't tell you because I am not. You know what's funny? I beat Morrowind when I was like 14. Oblivion came out. I got out of the sewers. I kid you not. I played. I did the tutorial in the sewers. I left the sewers at the very next screen when you see the open world. I turned the game off and I never turned it back on to this day. I have never beat Oblivion. Skyrim, I did every single quest in the game repeatedly. I played with all the mods. I did all the things you could do. For some reason, Oblivion didn't click with me. I couldn't tell you why. Because I've just spent a lot of my youth on Morrowind. So, I don't know what it was about Oblivion that didn't sit with me when I was much younger. Maybe now that I'm older and I've played a whole bunch of RPGs, maybe I go back. Maybe I get the remaster and I revisit Tamriel and see what I've missed all these 19 years. It's been 19 years since that game came out. 19. It's a long time. Where does it all go? Probably into an Oblivion gate. All of that is brought back and remastered in all of its glory. It looks beautiful, by the way. Was watching a couple of streamers who I like play. It looks great. The level up system has been improved. It is just Oblivion, but shinier, with some cute quality of life stuff. That QOL stuff. I almost said that. I almost give you abbreviation because I'm a turbo nerd. Quality of life stuff that makes it even better than it was all those years ago. So that happened this week. What else happened? Ghost of Yotei got a release date. That is the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, a game I covered on this channel, I think. I can't remember. I've done over 100, almost 200 videos, if you guys can believe it. I've done almost 200 videos on this channel. So I sometimes forget what I've talked about. I talk a lot, apparently. Thanks for listening, by the way. Like, comment, and subscribe. Got him. But yeah, Ghost of Yotei, the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, is coming out October 2nd. I guess Sony got tired of waiting for Grand Theft Auto 6. What's happening right now behind the scenes is Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out this year. They Rockstar or whatever, they say, yeah, no, it's this year. It's this year. But they haven't given a solid date. And since they haven't given a date, a lot of high-profile games have avoided putting out a release date in the fear of being overshadowed by Grand Theft Auto 6. And rightfully so. I mean, you don't want You don't want your game to come out anywhere near that game's release date because no one's going to buy it. And I know that sounds like, oh, there's different audiences. Look, listen to me. It doesn't matter. That audience, whatever your game is not bigger than Grand Theft Auto's audience. And if you release that game in a week or even 2 weeks time of each other, no one's going to buy your game. It's just not going to happen. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. It's a foregone conclusion that your game will flop if it comes out alongside Grand Theft Auto. So what's happening is a lot of developers and producers and stuff aren't dropping release dates for their games because they're like, all right, well, when does Grand Theft Auto come out? I guess Sony got tired of waiting, said, hey, you know what? F it. We are going to... It's October 2nd. Come and get your Ghost of Yotei fix. It's an improvement over the first game. There's more stuff. There's a gun. I'm playing it just for the gun, to be honest. I played the first game. I did everything in the game. Enjoyable game. I don't think it was as amazing as other people did, but I guess my standards or... I don't know. I don't know what to say is a little bit different from other people, but I definitely enjoyed the game. I did every single quest in the game. You don't do that if you don't like the game. I just didn't think it was this, like, masterpiece. I felt like it was the logical conclusion of open world games. And that was before Elden Ring. Elden Ring is now the ultimate open world game. So, yeah. I'm excited for Ghost of Yotei. I want to use the gun. I want to use the little pet thing. They have a little pet thing. And I hope the costumes are good. I got all the costumes. It was a cool Sly Cooper costume in one, secret costume and stuff. I hope all that stuff's still in the game. Very excited for that. So we'll see if other developers will be emboldened by Sony's decision to say, screw it. We're dropping our game, Ghost of Yotei. Right? What else has happened this week? Bungie revealed at long last Marathon. It is a remake of a 1990s PC game called Marathon. The response to it has been somewhat... I don't think it was what they were expecting. Now, I don't care what they do. I've talked at length on this channel about Bungie and Destiny 2 and things like that. I will say that I think it's strange that they're releasing a PvE PvP extraction shooter with a price tag, like with a cost in this market of games. Like, do those games do well? They must, right? Because Tarkov's been out forever, right? That's a pretty sizable player base, right? How did Marauders do? How did Dark and Darker do before it was taken off Steam and then relisted and then had its own launcher, but it's still back on Steam, right? Like, how did those games fare? Anybody play those games? Anybody booting those up? I don't know. I think it's strange. That's what I will say. I think it's an odd choice to make a PvP PvE extraction shooter with the Marathon IP. I think it's a strange choice. And then watching the gameplay, it's out. I've been watching some streamers play it. Big name streamers got alpha access. I've been watching. I am not impressed. But maybe I have biased eyes. Maybe it's amazing. I don't know. Go see for yourself. Pull up any of your favorite streamers. As long as you follow big streamers, you will see the gameplay. And then you decide, well, is this worth the 80 million year wait that feels like? Because they announced Marathon. When they announced Marathon? A few years back, right? It's been a long time. So I don't know. I mean, I think it. If anything's going to bury it, it's the price tag. I just don't know about releasing a game like that in this market with a price tag. I feel like it's free, right? I feel like it's free and you monetize a cash shop. I just don't see it doing well enough to justify whatever it's going to cost. I think it was 40, 50. I don't know what it's going to cost. But man, best of luck to them. I mean, we've talked about Bungie a lot on this channel about behind the scenes stuff that was going on, everything, the corruption, or the dissolution of the company, Sony shaving off sections, keeping who they can, firing others. They wasted $3 billion, basically. I mean, Bungie really fleeced Sony out of that money. And so far, they have nothing to show for it. So I do think if Marathon fails, and I'm going to say if, because there is a world where it doesn't. I think if Marathon fails, Sony absorbs the rest of Bungie and then outright closes the title Bungie Studio. It'll close. Like, right now, they're dictating what they can do and not do after the failure of Destiny 2 in its later life. And I think if Marathon fails, I think we will see the complete dissolution of the company. I do think we'll see that. So that sucks. It does, and I hope whatever. Look, nobody from that original company is even still there anymore, right? Like I feel like. But yeah, that's also this week. Marathon. Not only was the trailer a large hour stream, dev stream released. Hey, look! Shout out to the game's aesthetic. It looks amazing, right? Like the aesthetic of the game is cool. The music sounds lovely. And obviously it'll be Bungie, so if anybody with any talent is still left there, the gunplay will be nice. I was watching some streamers play. The gunplay looks okay. The streamers are saying if you don't turn on aiming magnetism, you're nerfing yourself. Apparently the aim assist is incredible, even on mouse and keyboard, and it feels like aimbot. That's what the streamers were saying. I don't know. I have not played that alpha. I do not have access, but the streamers are saying that's what it feels like. So if it feels like that, obviously it's an alpha. It'll change over time, obviously, right? So we'll see. I mean, I got nothing but the best hope for them and that they pull through. And on ending this video on a positive note, Last Epoch Season 2 released, The Tombs of the Erased. I've been playing it with a bunch of my buddies. It is an excellent ARPG. 1.0 did not feel this good. I gotta say, honestly, I only played about 50 hours. And I know, like, 50 hours is long. It's not for me. I'm a big guy on putting a whole bunch of hours into stuff I love. Season 2, I've played many more hours, and I'm having a great time. The classes all feel really cool and stuff, and all the powers and the new in-game stuff that they added with the tombs and the Weaver tree and everything. Feels good. Feels awesome. If you're into RPGs, if you haven't checked out Last Epoch, this is not sponsored. Go check it out. Just play it. I think it's $30 or $25 or $35. I can't remember. I bought it when it first dropped in early access, like over 2 years ago, whatever it was. So I don't remember the price tag. But it is super duper fun. So that's the positive note I'm going to end this video on. We'll be back next week with something else. As always, thank you all for listening. For those of you who stick around and still listen when I upload these, it does not go unnoticed, and I appreciate you. I hope you're having a good day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.